AITA for getting annoyed with my GF for changing my last name to hers at a wedding for a joke? GF and I are heading to a wedding next month. It's a couple she knows getting married. I've met them once or twice. I don't know anyone else at this wedding. The other day, her friend called to check if he should also change my name on the guest plan. At which point she admitted to me that, as a joke, she had RSVP'd my last name as her last name, meaning it would be visible this way to other guests on the name tags at the table, and perhaps on other things. I was immediately pissed off with her, and said I didn't think it was funny, and she shouldn't have done it. She was indignant and upset, thought it was a funny joke, that I was overreacting, etc. AITA here? See, I'm aware that it could be funny. If you know your partner likes those jokes. We joke with each other about taking each other's names when we're married. Her joking that I should take hers, etc. But for me, this feels like a big overstep. For one thing, it's childish. I would be embarrassed for her friends and other guests to presume we are married, only to find out it's a dumb joke, and also for her friends to think we're not taking their wedding seriously. But also it feels like a power move. She knows that me taking her name would represent a victory for her, and so the joke feels less playful and more a competitive jibe at my expense. I have to put up with others believing I'm someone who took my wife's name and abandoned my own. No offense to anyone who chooses this, but my name is a part of my identity, and I dislike what being thought to have changed it puts across about me. She grudgingly accepts my point of view, but in general feels more upset at having been told off, and that her naughty playful side is what people like about her, and that I'm at fault for trying to repress it and being uptight. I just feel it's crossing a boundary. Update. Lot of thoughts here. Feeling blessed for all the balanced and constructive feedback I'm getting. Just to clarify, as I think my word choice has rubbed some people the wrong way. I have absolutely no problem with my GF keeping her name if we married. Personally, giving up on my name goes against my values. Not because I'm a closet misogynist, but simply because I'm a person who values their identity. My GF knows this, and still chose to make our joke public with her friends, whom I don't know. Okay, have at. YTAIT could be funny. If you know your partner likes those jokes. True, we joke with each other about taking each other's names when we're married. Her joking that I should take hers, etc. Oh, so she did know you like these jokes. YTA. Normally I'd say that if someone tells you something they did was a joke in order to blow you off, you should tell them it wasn't funny and it's not a free pass for their behavior. Hard however here, though. See, I'm aware that it could be funny. If you know your partner likes those jokes. We joke with each other about taking each other's names when we're married. Her joking that I should take hers. You've admitted this is a running joke between the two of you. She took it a bit further than you'd expected and liked. Sure. But your response is disproportionate at best and wildly childish at worst. She took an inside joke the two of you had and goofed with it. And you feel like it's crossing some major boundary? I think your comment about if you were to take her name it would be a victory for her is pretty telling here. She's been thinking the stuff about your names was a light-hearted joke and maybe a way to have this conversation with you. You seem to have been acting like it was a joke covering a threat. Like haha what a ridiculous thought, but really that's never ever happening ever. The wedding is for people she knows that you're not close with. So your comment about being concerned the couple getting married will think you're not taking their wedding seriously rings pretty hollow and feels like a reaching attempt to justify your discomfort and anger. You need to take a good long look at why this is upsetting you so much. And I think you need to take a moment and consider your expectations for any future spouse you have. Would you be alright if they decided not to abandon their name and identity for yours? Or do you just expect that they would? This whole thing smacks of you being controlling. YTA. I don't know anyone else at this wedding. Unless you two make a scene or steal the show or anything. Nobody is going to notice that you have her last name, much less remember you. YTA. Literally no one will care or ask about your last names. Also, you should let her know you expect her to take your last name, but you wouldn't do the same for her, because masculinity is fragile as ever. YTA for the statement below. But also it feels like a power move. She knows that me taking her name would represent a victory for her. And so the joke feels less playful and more a competitive jibe at my expense. I have to put up with others believing I'm someone who took my wife's name and abandoned my own. YTA. I have to put up with others believing I'm someone who took my wife's name and abandoned my own. Like women have been expected to do since forever. YTA. Oh my god, you sound exhausting. YTA. No one else will put that much thought into your name. They're there for a wedding and to have a good time. Lighten up. Some sort of victory. Your relationship is based on competition, not cooperation. It ain't gonna work. YTA. Me taking her name would represent a victory for her. I have to put up with others believing I'm someone who took my wife's name and abandoned my own. YTA. And very odd. This definitely feels like it's way more about men shouldn't have to change their last names, and way less about you feeling upset. YTA for being so touchy about something that's a non-issue. Info. Can I ask how you know for certain that you taking her name would represent a victory for her? Has she said it explicitly, or has it been referenced by either of you in your prior joking about taking each other's names? That's where I'm confused here. YTA. Grow up. YTA. Women have dealt with changing their names since time began, but you are offended because it is part of your identity. Yeah, it's always been part of women's identities too, but they've always had to change it, and you're upset by a joke where your GF changed yours. Sorry, but this is grossly sexist of you, as well as petty and downright disrespectful to your GF on a human being level. You need to grow up and start seeing women as humans, dude. Just WTF. Your GF is 100% right that you are oppressing her fun, playful side because your ego was hurt by a thing that all women have dealt with since the beginning of last names. YTA. Your first 2 points I could almost see, even if you overreacted. But your last point was so pathetic that I hope it made your GF see just how insecure you are and how insignificant she actually is to you. Ick man. Major ick. NTA. I don't get all these YTAs. OP's GF tried to play a joke. He told her he didn't appreciate it, and suddenly she gets all defensive and upset that he should have any feelings on the matter other than pure joy. What? NTA. The only reason people are saying you are the asshole is because they got triggered by your thinking. If they would ignore personal feelings and see that your GF crossed a large boundary, then they would agree with you. YTA. To get so upset over something so small around a bunch of people you don't know. Also, I've never even been to a wedding where they bothered with seating charts or your names all over, so I doubt it's a big deal. Plus, really, these are her friends, so really you are nothing but a +1. The place cards could literally read, Brittany Anderson and Brittany Anderson +1, for the spot next to her. It is not that serious. YTA.
If you enjoyed this video, Please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.